Good morning, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here at Yeshiva Samanapshi in Yerushalayim Kodesh. We're located not too far from the central bus station, so if you're here in Yerushalayim, you can walk from there, take a bus of course, if you drive, very nice. And if you're coming from Putzlaritz, when you're flying here to Israel, please join us for our shir. We'd love to have you participate. We're learning Pirkei Avos here. This is our first shir in the morning. The first parak, first Mishnah. The Anshe Knesset Gadol have taught us three things. One of them is that we should remind Talmidim how we should establish many Talmidim for the sake of preserving Torah throughout all generations. And now we're going to be learning a bit what the Maharal in Prague has to say in his commentary Derech Chaim on Avos. And we're going to continue on with the thoughts we've been discussing previous this week. Any Rakim, would you like to give me number 10 in the sheet we have in front of us?
Derech Chaim al Avot. Ucheneged Tikkun Adin, in comparison or in relationship to the Tikkun of Din, that the Din.
Yeah, good.
Amar Havu Mitunim Badin. We
should be patient, deliberate in judgment. Should be deliberate in your judgments, right?
Deliberate in judgment. Keneged Tikkun Divrei Torah, Devarei Divrei Torah, and in respect to the Torah, and it's expounded.
Well, Tikkun in this case would be like Tikkun Divrei Torah in order to fix and to establish and preserve it in the proper way, right? So we have to do certain things. Right?
Divrei Torah Amar Hamidu Tamidim Habeh. And Shaydei Ribui Tamidim Titbarer HaTorah, by way of making abundant students, it will clarify the Torah.
So now this is something we've been discussing for this past week. The advantage of having many Talmidim, right, on one hand is very important for the clarification of Torah. The more Talmidim you have, the more discussion there will be, and the more that you're likely to arrive at a truthful, clear understanding of what the Torah is all about. Right? However, as we've been discussing, there are other opinions that said it depends whether or not you're supposed to be selective in the Talmidim that you're supposed to have. You may have many Talmidim, but whether we can be selective or unselective in our choices of Talmidim, that's a discussion which takes place.
That means the more the merrier.
Merrier, the question is how merry do you want it to get? All right. So we'll see more about that.
The Keneged Shelo Yavo, as opposed to say they shouldn't come, Lavor Mitzvot, the Maaseh, Amru V'Asusiag the Torah.
So we have here that that in order that they have a mitzvah, the actual fulfilling of the mitzvahs, meaning you have Torah, which is the understanding of the requirements we're supposed to fulfill, and then you have to actually go ahead and do them. So you have the command of having many Talmidim. That's going to allow you to come to a truthful understanding of the Torah. Then, when it comes to actually doing things, you have to place a fence around the Torah. There's another command of also side the Torah, and these things are they're interrelated, as the Maharal is going to explain to us.
There's a fence around the Torah. Zeu Tikkun HaMitzvot HaMaasi. This is Tikkun again?
Tikkun, in this context, let's say Tikkun is a fortification of Mrs. Aseh. We want to fortify something. We want to bolster it, right? So we want to fortify it. So we want to do certain things. So by making a sayeg, a fence for the Torah, right? That comes to fortify your fulfillment of actual mitzvahs.
to kind of call. With these three things, it will be fixed. Everything will be fixed.
Right, that's again the three things we're discussing about being misunim b'din, deliberate in judgment, right? Also hara talmidim harbe, having many talmidim, and also la sasaya the Torah. So then you're going to be able to fortify all aspects of our lives.
And these three things are connected to three classifications of people.
Right, connected mean like correspond, meaning they correspond. So you have these three things. You have misunim b'din, number one. Then you have again amid talmidim harbe, and then you have also sayed the Torah. So these three things, they relate and correspond to three different groups of people. The Maharal is going to explain to us that there are basically three different groups of people. What are those three groups?
One sect is the great people.
Right.
I don't say isn't Talmid Chachamim Gadol?
No, even amongst Talmid Chachamim, you can have Gedoli Talmid Chachamim, right? We'll explain it in the context there. Well, let's see the last group, and then I'll try to explain.
Gedolim is bigger than Talmid Chachamim, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ashishi Shabbanina, and the third class sect is the regular people.
Right. So just as a way to try and explain this, I mean, obviously, Gedolim they have to be Talmid Chachamim. That's obvious. That's a prerequisite.
That's great. Gedolim.
Gedolim is great. Those are outstanding personalities.
Right.
And those you only have a small number in any given generation. Then you have Talmidei Chachamim, which you can have. You can have Baruch Hashem many Talmidei Chachamim. And then you have regular people, right? So just to take this to a classical secular example, let's say you have an army. You have an army, right? So the army consists of soldiers, right? So you have amongst the soldiers, you have those who are commanders, and those people who are not commanders, right? And then even beyond those who are commanders, you have those who are actually involved with the actual decision making of how the war or the battle is going to take place. So, for example, that during World War II in the Allies, you had the supreme commander. He was General Eisenhower. He was the supreme commander. He was the supreme commander. Like you can only have a few, 5-star generals. If everyone's going to be a 5-star general, there's not going to be much of a war here. So. You can only have so many colonels, you can only have so many lieutenants and captains and even sergeants and corporals. Then you have to have the regular.
Who's doing the work?
That's right. That's right. So.
The difference between the army over here and the other armies. In the army over here, the officer goes in the front. In other medinots, the officer goes in the back.
Really? Yeah, that's what you do.
You learned from Pharaoh to go to the front. Yesterday.
That's right. Very good. That's right. So similarly, you have here in the spectrum of Yiddishkeit of Jewish life, you have Baruch Hashem many fine, upstanding Jewish people that they may know Torah and they may know and keep mitzvahs, obviously, certainly so, but nevertheless they're not on the level of scholars. You can't consider them a scholar. But they may know how to learn Chumash, and they might not, they might know more and everything, but they're not what you can consider to be truthfully scholars. And then after even those amongst the scholars, the Talmidei Chachamim, and you have those who are extremely outstanding. You have your tzaddikim and you have chassidim and chassidim in the classic sense, right? Not just wearing a shtreimel, but you have people who are extremely outstanding in their actions and their personalities and the things they can do and the way they fulfill mitzvahs. And those set examples for everybody else. Any Talmid Chacham has to set an example for everybody else as well. But there are those who, special individuals that are limited in in the generation. They can't have more. Moshe Rabbeinu said, he said, if only everybody could be a prophet, that would be great. You know, so obviously we would like everyone to be outstanding and when it comes to serving Hashem, of course, if everyone could be a 5-star general, that would be great. I remember when I was once a mashgiach at a night for yeshiva for boys, usually 17, 18, 19 years old. So I was the mashgiach for the nighttime, the night seder. So I was talking with one of the young bachrim there, 17, 18-year-old, who was thinking about staying in Shiva, not staying in Shiva. So I was explaining to him, like, you know, if he keeps learning, he grows and grows and grows, and eventually he can make something of himself. So at that time, we were in the Shiva by Rosh Steinberg Zitzal. So at that point, when I was talking with him, Rosh Shiva Zitzal walked by. So we stood up and we passed by and we sat down. So Baruch says, you mean if I keep learning, I'm going to turn out to be like the Rosh Shiva? Right? I'm going to be like the Rosh Shiva, you know, Gadol Ador, I'm going to be like him? I said, look, right? I told him the same thing. He said, you have an army. I said, how many generals can you have in an army? Rosh Shiva, he's a general. He's a general. He's one of the Gadol Ador. So how many generals can you have? Right? But it says if you keep learning, it doesn't mean you can't become a lieutenant, you can't become a captain, you can't become a colonel. You keep learning, you have a place in Klal Yisrael. So it's the same thing. You have many Talmidei Chachamim, and they work Hashem hard, and they set good examples. And nevertheless, you only have a certain amount of people that are at that very high level, the apex of Yiddishkeit, of Torah life. You have those very special, dear individuals that we cherish so much. So, but everyone should try as hard as they can. And, everyone can find their own place, and obviously everyone can have an opportunity to influence somebody else. Whether great or little. I remember once hearing Mendel Weinbach, Zitzal from Or Sameach, was giving a shir, and he said, so we don't learn. Hey, Shalom Aleichem is Israel.
Aleichem Shalom.
Shalom. Give me your hand. Let me shake hands with you. Shalom Aleichem. How are you? We missed you very much. Good to see you. Good to see you. The breakfast ready?
I just something quickly. I'll be back.
Yeah. Please. Fine. Very good. Very good. So. So he was saying to the group that we learn Torah. But we don't learn Torah like we believe Mashiach is going to come. We don't learn like Mashiach. We don't believe, we learn Torah, but we don't learn the way that because he said if we really believed Mashiach was going to come, right? He would come. The number one, he would come. But not only that, he said that people would be lining up, right, in front of the doors of this yeshiva, for miles down on the left side of the road, miles down on the left side of the right side of the road, and they'll be lining up to come and learn Torah. Right? And who's going to be teaching these people? Right? They're going to be people that they don't know Aleph Beis. Right? So you certainly can teach someone Aleph Beis. Right? I can teach someone Aleph Beis. Right? Some people who want to learn Chumash with Rashi. So you can teach Chumash with Rashi. Right? There's some people who want to learn Gemara with Rashi also. So we can also teach. But everybody, according to what they can teach, are going to have to teach. Because everyone's going to come with a different desire to learn different Kalakim of Torah. Some people, based on what they know at that point, when Mashiach finally comes, Hashem, everyone's going to be there at their level, and they're going to want to know as much as they can, based on their level, and going forward, right? So we want to be able to teach them, and those areas going to be broken down. You're going to be, now we don't have an army, but Mashiach is going to be the supreme commander, and he's going to tell everybody, this yeshiva, that's where they learn Aleph Beis. This yeshiva, that's where they learn Gemara, Rashi, Tosas. Then this yeshiva, that's where they learn Shulchan Aruch with Meforshim, right? And there'll be people going from here to place. They're going to take over Binyan and Uma. It's going to be a big yeshiva for people learning Aleph Beis, right? Knesset's going to be a big yeshiva that teach Chumash with Rashi, right? Right? Teddy Stay was going to teach Gemara, Daf Yomi. Right?
Now we understand why all these places got built.
Exactly. These places are not.
These are our study halls.
That's right. This is what it's going to be. Now they think it's all these kind of things.
Thank you, God.
when the time comes, we see a little bit like, when you make a Sima shots, and they take over, Giant Stadium?
Giant Stadium.
Take over the whole Giant Stadium, that you just get a picture of what's going to be on a daily basis, not just once every 7 years. So everyone, whatever they're going to be able to teach, they're going to be, be drafted. You're going to be drafted. You're going to you got to start teaching. Right? So, so it's always important that whatever we learn, we try and learn enough of it that we should be able to say and teach it to other people as well.
Yeah, sure, go
Yeah,
on.
so you have these 3 groups, right? 3 groups: the Gedolim, the Talmid Chachamim, and then you finally have the rest of the people. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's continue on.
Okay. כי הדין צריך חוכמה מאוד מאוד. The judgment needs a lot of wisdom, very great wisdom, very much so. עד שאפילו חכמים גדולים צריכים תיקון. So even the חכמים גדולים, 10. עד שאפילו החכמים הגדולים צריכים תיקון. That even the great wise men will need tikkun.
Yeah, they'll need fortification. They'll need support, right? That since din requires very great wisdom, right? So much so that even the Chachamim Gedolim, even the great top Talmidei Chachamim, Tzaddikim of the generation, they also need support and fortification. How is that? Kida Amram, we bring a Yerushalmi and Sanhedrin to prove it.
K'yamina Yerushalmi Sanhedrin, late Techachim Bedin, late Techachim Bedin. There is no wisdom with the din.
Yes, apparently, I surprised to say, Leis Tichim Bedin. There doesn't seem to be wisdom in the din. Kamo da Amru Shimon ben Shattach.
Shimon ben Shattach. Al menat shetadininu din Torah. Amar din Torah lo yedana.
So it says, Shimon ben Shattach said, Al menat shetadinin din Torah, that it's on the condition that we shall judge the law of Torah. Amr din Torah lo yedana. They say that the judgment, the law of Torah, lo yedana, we don't know.
Din means law?
Yeah.
I thought that was din was understanding.
Well, din, no, that's das.
Das, okay.
Right? And din could be law. Din could also mean judgment as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mishpat.
Mishpat, yeah.
Okay.
It's similar.
Din Torah, Bama din lo yedana. Divrei Torah, with Divrei Torah, ein tzarich kol kach tikun. You don't need such a big
Tikkun.
fix.
So much support. Doesn't need so much support.
So much support. Al gedulim, el gedulim. On the great. Shehem kvar chachamim tva mitzvotea. They are already very great and in wise in the Torah and in the mitzvot. Aval atamidim tzrichim tikun, but the students need support. Connected there, amahamidu tamidim abeh. And according to this, it says that the Amar Hamidu Tamidim Abeh should establish a lot of Tamidim. Ki Aidei Tamidim Abeh Tzit Bareah Behem Torah, because by having many Tamidim, the Torah will be clarified.
Okay, continue, and then we're going to go over this because you're saying a lot of things that relate and that are interrelated. We'll go over this in a moment.
Keneged, as opposed to Pchutim, the lessers of the people, Ehem b'nei adam she'enam lomdim, and these are people that don't learn. Hem tzrichim seg l'Torah, they need a fence around Torah. Because she'ra'u anshei knesset gedolah, and then when the anshei knesset gedolah saw chisaron b'chukmah, lacking in wisdom, ad shehaya nimtza chisaron b'chol chakei b'nei adam, until there was a lacking in all the parts of the chol chakei b'nei Torah, all parts of the people.
Right, that they raw Anshe Knesset Gedolah Chasorin B'Chachma. They saw the Anshe Knesset Gedolah, meaning this is where again we have to remember constantly the Anshe Knesset who came back from Babel after 7 years of Gullus. They were involved with the rebuilding of the base of Megillah Sheni and reestablishing Torah and Klal Yisrael here in Eretz Yisrael. So they saw after the 7 years of Gullus there was a decrease, there was a decline, a lack of wisdom. So there's a lack of wisdom. Until Ad Shia Nimsa Chasron B'Kol Chelki B'nei Adam. They saw that there were a lack in all three groups of people. We mentioned the Hainu, the Gedolim, Tamidim, or Shar B'nei Adam. They saw there was a lack in each one of these groups, meaning as great, even as great as the Gedolim were. Those shining examples at the apex of Torah life, they also were lacking something. And then the Talmidei Chachamim, they were also lacking something. And then most of the people, the general populace, they were also lacking something. Each one in terms of their relation to their level of learning and fulfillment of mitzvahs. They were all lacking something. So therefore, what did they do?
Dahinu hagdolim v'talmidim v'shar b'nei adam. That's to say the great and the students and the rest of the people.
Right, so those were the three groups, right? And each one of the groups experienced some lack in wisdom, in chachma.
Tiknu hachisaron. They repaired the...
Oh, now that's very good. They repaired, now it's very good. They repaired the lack.
Okay, Gedolim she'ein yoshvim b'din rak. Gedolim she'ein yoshvim b'din rak. Chama Gedol. The great Ein Yoshvim B'din, those that don't sit in the din, rather only the wise, the great and the wise. So Yechid Mumche, he's a Mumche, an expert.
Yeah, maybe like a unique expert. Yachid, like it could be Yechid, meaning not like a singular. He's unique. He's an exceptional expert.
Right. V'tziva, and he commanded sheyu v'tunim b'din, that they should be liberate with the judgment, ve'al yifseku meher. They shouldn't judge quickly.
Yeah, decide
quickly. Achisaron asher imsa b'talmidim, the lacking of that is found in the students, ve'amidu talmidim abeh, and that they should establish many students. Ki kasher yamidu talmidim habeh, because when they establish many students, if they ribuya talmidim, because to the great amount of the students, הם עומדים על דברי Torah, they are standing on דברי Torah, כמו שאמרו בתענית, מחברו יותר מכולם. From his friend, from everybody.
I mean, that's the Gemara, which we know that Chavero Yosu Mikulam? It was Talmidim Yosu Mikulam. So look at the Gemara, I think it's Talmidim Yosu Mikulam, if I'm not mistaken. Chavero Yosu Mikulam? No, yes?
Yeah, it's Talmidim.
So, okay, we'll have to look that up. Okay, let's just finish up.
Vav, in its made a sechel, if also there was a listening of
intelligence.
Can I get Shar B'nei Adam, She'enam Yodim, as opposed to the rest of the masses, Yodim, Enam Yodim, they don't know, Amar Vasusan Torah, and they said to make a fence around the Torah.
Right, so the general populace, since they're not really very knowledgeable, so what they basically did was just make a sayag around the Torah. People shouldn't come to transgress those things which are actual Torah commandments. So they basically set up a fence of restrictions and other positive things which we needed to do in order we shouldn't come to transgress those things which are actually Doraisa, Torah commandments.
כי הם צריכים גדר, סייג, fence, ולא תלמידי, לא תלמיד חכמים, רק למי שלא תלמיד חכם.
Not just ones who are not Talmid Chacham, but even those who are Talmid Chacham. Okay, we're going to go over this a bit more tomorrow. Mitzvah